day trading or traders in general. Doesn't have to be day trading, right? 90%, I mean, those are the stats, and here they are. 90% of day traders somehow manage to lose money, and why? I don't know. What I do know is that though, it's definitely something that a lot of people start doing without any education, without any fundamentals, and without any groundwork, right? I mean, Chris said this on a previous Power Hour. You know, this is like building a house. If your foundation is not good, your rates, your chance of succeeding is very low to start with, and without that, it's extremely low. So this is an article that I found actually from April 29th of this year, pretty recent. What percentage of day traders make money? Statistics 2024. Day trading is the buying and selling of stocks, forex, options, all kinds of asset classes, right? Day traders choose their position before market closes and reap the rewards, supposedly. It's a high risk and high rewards venture, 100% agree. Around 1 to 20% of traders in general, doesn't have to be day traders, any kind of traders, earn a profitable margin at the end of the day. The low success rate often discourages the newbies to learn new ways from online courses or TV. You know, I don't know about online courses. If I had the magic bullet, why would I sell that online as an online course, right? I'd rather keep trading and make millions of dollars than teach somebody else what to do it, because it doesn't exist. You know, it happens in real estate too. You know, you have all these courses. They go, oh, you know, look at this, look at that. I'm like, I don't know. So here's the statistics. Day trading stats 2024. Around 80% of traders quit within a couple of years. Yeah, because they're broke. They're in the poorhouse. They lost all their bank. They lost their account. They blew, it's probably not one, but through multiple small or mid-sized or large accounts. Day traders have a mindset to sell the winners at a 50% higher rate. Absolutely, which is absolutely incorrect, right? What do we say? For the past I don't know how many weeks, 4 weeks, 3, 4 weeks, we've been doing Power Hour. Keep your winners running, right? And cut your losses short. That's called risk management. But unfortunately, you know, when money gets involved, emotions get involved, right? And people cannot control that. They think, you know, they do the opposite. They take small gains and become bag holders on stocks that they fall in love with for one reason or another. I mean, nobody knows what a stock is going to do. You just got to read the tea leaves and go with the flow. Um, So only 1% of day traders make a profit. That's it may be probably low. Maybe let's go with 5%. Most day traders increase the amount of trading and take more shots. Absolutely, that's called revenge trading. You don't want to do that. If you mishit a few times, if you spent your bullets, just turn the computer off or whatever your platform you're trading off and go away for the day. Analyze what you did at the end of the day, and then come back. You know what, this is one of the parts that goes into education. Many urban people, like it happened during the pandemic, government gave everybody money. What they do, they open Robinhood accounts and swing options, and initially they made money, but then how did that end up, and how did also this week's meme boys end up? They all ended up in the poorhouse. Most urban people with a poor financial background invest in lottery type stocks. Absolutely. Penny stocks are there winners? Yeah, here and there. The problem is not to make it. The problem is to keep it. And unfortunately, it's like a gambling mentality, and they don't keep the gains, and they don't go away. This goes into definitely why you should not be day trading. Uh, you know, my thing is, I'm not against trading or day trading. Obviously, I do it myself, right? The point is, if 90% are losing, why people keep coming, right? I mean, it's a get rich quick thing, you know. Our minds, we all have the gambling gene, right? And so my Jason, I'm going to answer your questions if you hang out. My mindset is that trading is something viable, right? You can make can you make a living doing it? Very few people can for long periods of time, like myself. So I compare day trading to horse racing, right? I've called them before. I called them what? Jockeys, stock jockeys, right? Stock jockeys. Okay, so we all have been to the horse races ourselves, right? There are 9 races on each card. I've been to Santa Anita, which is close to LA, many, many times, right? So the same jockeys get on and off horses all day long throughout the card, right? How many races do they win? Depends on the horse, obviously. Depends on tactics. Depends how the horse feels that day. Depends on how the jockey feels that day. Depends on the strategy that the trainer gave the jockey. If the jockey was able to implement that strategy, during the horse race. And for day traders, which is really short term, 5, 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes max, it is exactly like a horse race, right? So they're like jockeys. They get on and off horses constantly. And what is the success rate of a jockey at the track? Not too high. I mean, I've never met a jockey that has, gotten on a horse and won every 9, all 9 races, right? So it all depends. There are so many variables in it, but nobody needs to be a stock jockey, right? And another, great analogy that I came up with, getting prepared for the show, was that they're like hummingbirds, right? So what do hummingbirds do? I mean, they flap their wings a million times a minute, and all they do is go from flower to flower to flower, suck the nectar out. By the time they go to the next flower, the nectar that they sucked out is already expanded, right? So to me, that is not my style. Are there people doing this? Of course, I'm sure there are. Are there people going to come back and keep doing it? Yeah, there are, because the 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 rewards could be massive, right? So we have to understand numbers here. If 90%, let's say, of traders or day traders are losing, right? There's a 10% group that's making that money. So if 90% are losing, if you can get into that 10% consistent basis, not just 3 months, 6 months, beginner's luck, any of that stuff, yeah, by all means. So that's what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to give you guys the fundamentals to be able to do this as a maybe full-time income, as a full-time gig, or as a part-time, right? My lifestyle suits this. I have the time to do it. I have the time to pay attention, and I have the experience of 30 years, right? But so there's no reason for me, personally speaking, to be a stock jockey or a hummingbird. The reason is I pick 10 flowers and I keep going to those same 10 flowers every week. I have an idea of how they're going to behave, especially on the horse races. I know how my horse is going to behave. I have my risks set up, right? And am I going to win every race? Absolutely not. And by the way, I'm going to share at the end of the month how my big account did, like I did last month. I'm going to share the numbers once a month at the end of the month with you all. Again, full transparency. There will be drawdowns, there'll be ups and downs, but ultimately, I think it's going to be a good year for me. So yeah, please, if you have any comments, opinions about this, we're gonna, I'm sure, put this video out on its own as an individual video. You know, chime in, right? Are you a hummingbird? Are you a jockey? Or are you trying to build long-term wealth for yourself? This is also happening in altcoins, right? Bitcoin and Bitcoin separate story, which I'm going to talk about next in the next subject. But this is not my style. If this is what the style that suits you, and you get the adrenaline rush, you get the endorphins, you get the satisfaction out of getting in and out of things nonstop like a hummingbird, going from flower to flower to flower. Well, this didn't work. There's no nectar on this one. Let me go to the next one. I'm like, why? Right? Their success rate is not going to be that high. Specifically, when I told you guys that a lot of people do the opposite what they should be doing, which is let their winners run and keep the losses short. Unfortunately, it's an emotional thing, right? We all have losers. We know that, and no need to be a bag holder. So don't go from flower to flower. And please, yeah, you can get on 9 different horses in a single day, but then your chances of winning is pretty low. And especially if that win doesn't produce enough results for you as far as, let's say, dollars are concerned, well, you're going to lose the other 8 races, right? There's no guarantees in life, and especially there's no guarantees in trading. So, with that said, you know, to each their own. My recommendation: I'm a swing trader. I'm a position trader. I do day trading very infrequently. And then do I do it? Absolutely. Yeah. If I see an opportunity, absolutely, I'm going to jump on it. And just like this week, GameStop and AMC and Beyond Meat and a lot of the heavily shorted stocks, people just jumped on it and made a ton of money. Did I make money? I'll explain that when I share my screen with you guys. Yeah, I made a few bucks by shorting volatility on the options, but selling premium.